Hello and welcome to a new episode of the CommunityCast. In the northwest we have, I believe it is, yes it is indeed, Vegie with the Orcs, occultist, Orcs in green, lovely start, and fill in the Juan. We have a Dwarf with a Hierophant coming up. Curious to see how that will play out. Ooh, those hunting cabins are very far away from the piggies. So there's gonna be a lot of lost time for in terms of efficiency. So if you don't know, the bottleneck factor usually is the carrying time from the hunters back to the cabin rather than the carriers back and forth. So you wanna check out where the biggest cluster of piggies is and go for that. So like place the hunting cabin there. Nice and easy. Hierophant doing her thing. Cleaving through. I love how she just cleaved to her back. She just shot backwards. That's quite a trick shot. Gotta admit. Occultist goes this Godstone route. So just grabs the first outpost and then tries to secure a Godstone position. And I'm assuming, oh no, he does upgrade this first. Sometimes you see it that this gets upgraded first, so you ensure that it goes up fast. And denies your opponent this particularly point of interest. Yeah, he doesn't have level 2 yet. Let's see, we're probably gonna see full left side build. Yes, indeed. Nothing too fancy there. You've seen it, you know how powerful it is. We're gonna see a lot of dead gobos in this game, I reckon. Good moldy boy. Gets the nice impaired. It's a minus 50 debuff. Pretty damn strong. How long does it last? 4 seconds? 3 seconds? Ah, it doesn't give us the characteristics.
Wurde fertiggestellt. Wir haben
5 seconds.
Grenzen ausgeweitet.
That's a 50% 5 seconds low. It's probably worth it in the early game to get like 1 or 2 of those bad boys just to keep the trolls. For example, against trolls, for example. Since they have high value single targets.
Wurde fertiggestellt. Wir haben unsere Grenzen ausgeweitet.
Pull them in. The mole riders, once the trolls start low and they will disengage. They will get clobbered quite quickly since they have low melee resist as well as low hit points. So you have to be tactical with them. But that's just my 2 cents. I still have to try it out. I have been dabbling a little bit in triple scout early gameplay with various races. Just to harass and creep. And it's working out pretty well so far. Which saves a little bit on the food cost, helps you a little bit expand on the quicker areas, and still can do some decent harass and counter harass. But to the game at hand, nothing too fancy yet. We see this forward outpost taken here. Most likely gonna see wood and stone, food and stone, but grabs this one in advance first, so he doesn't get the knightly godstone as well as the iron mine. Okay, so. Basically what we're seeing here is pretty much giving up any military presence for getting up all of these outposts, which is definitely a decent strategy against an orc. Let's see if it plays out for him. Because the orc would have to sacrifice a lot of gobos to get rid of one scouting post. And dwarf outposts are really, really strong. 5,000 hit points on the first scouting post. And nice micro on the mole rider so far. That boy is still alive. But Occultist does what Occultists do best. Denying flags. Doesn't use the demonic pact for it. Which is interesting. I would assume he has it. Yes, indeed. Ooh, nice shot there. Interesting choice. I see a lot of people picking up Blood Harvest. Surprisingly against tanky factions very often. So I wonder how much that actually gives them. So basically, if a unit close to him dies, he gets a little bit of HP back. I don't know exactly how much, because sadly it doesn't say so. But yeah, that's what makes the Hierophant in the early game really scary. The big ass cleave against low health tier 1 units. You ignore the hero, you just run around, snipe those units out, and do a hell of a lot of damage that ways. And there we go. That would actually be a pretty good slow combo there. Mole boy, or like I think it's actually on a sniping
Wir
shot
werden
that
angegriffen.
impairs, yeah. So the kill shot impairs as well. I think in the patch notes it says that's gonna be gone. We'll see if that will be the case. After
Wir
all.
haben einen Sektor verloren.
But Vegie is gonna secure his side more or less. Stonecutter, double Stonecutter coming out first just to get everything upgraded. So very low on the food count. Has not produced any Axe Wielder. So pretty interesting build here by filling the Juan.
Gebäude fertiggestellt.
But let's see if the economy, which is tremendously strong, is quick enough to deny this very nice map advantage that Juan has now. Since Orcs can struggle on equal map, it is less so. People have been getting better, so Orcs do play a lot better nowadays from an equal match position than they used to. Because just people getting better, their build orders are tighter. They know when they can build units and when not. So we'll have to see. But the Queen Hierophant here hasn't bought anything yet, right? No, doesn't have a gun, so I expect after those two camps he's gonna go shop, get the big crossbow, do its thing there. We've got some Dark Pacting coming up. Oh, nice. That's the power of the occultist. Can do this camp quickly. For the massive cleave on these skellies. Not microing many gobbles away here, so some of them will die. If you're really good, you just pull the singular goblins away once they drop low, so you don't lose any. And then you gain just some extra value. Unless your attention is required elsewhere.
Unsere Helden sind stärker geworden.
Let's see. Okay, yeah. So 7 minutes in, the Risen Kalrak is in production. So Hunters should be come out roughly at
der
the
Vorposten wurde errichtet.
10-minute mark.
Unsere Grenzen wurden erweitert.
And over here we have the Town Hall now producing Axe Wielders. Now that he has his territory, getting some hunting cabins, stone cabins up. So I assume the skeletons are on the menu here next as well. Yeah, okay. Yep, built a stone cabin here, stone hall there. So the worker usage isn't quite optimal, but it definitely gained the map. And he's just getting what he can once the workers pop up. Let's do a quick pop check. 11 Axe Wielders, Hierophant, and a Moldy Boy. Versus 36 and 76 worth of pop cap of gobos. Also level 3 for Vegie, but level 4 for the Hierophant. And some nice split push harass. There we go. Words are hard. But that's gonna be some nice eco damage for Vegie here. Especially if he gets them down before the response is there, but Juan is just worried about getting level 5. He can bleed a little bit of stone for it. It's not optimal, but he definitely can. Also loses some units for it, but it's not too bad, not too bad. Splits off some units, even builds a tower, which I've... On this map, you kind of often see tower, especially in the mid-game, early mid-game. Just to keep the Godstone territories, especially the pathing, often leads some stray units through there. So it can be a worthwhile investment. So dwarf towers are pretty damn expensive. 25 stone. Like, they're expensive in the early game. They're very cheap in the late, since you at some point usually start floating.
Gebäude fertiggestellt.
And they have comparatively, I think they have 4 upgrades in total. But they're all gonna be single target.
Wir werden angegriffen.
But hasn't quite gotten level 5 yet. So no barrage for the goblin hordes available as of now. But the more goblins he kills, the closer he's gonna get.
Wir werden angegriffen.
Okay, let's have a check. How much is a goblin worth here? It's a little bit of tick. Not too bad. So he could just fight this out. Some nice occultist stance. Going back and forth here. Trying to bleed, trying to hit. That's quite a mosh pit here. Oh, and she's getting ever closer to level 5.
Unsere Helden sind stärker geworden.
Here it comes. Is he quick on the trigger here? Quick, back into barrage. Oh, there could have been so many dead goblins if he's done it quick. But he has definitely killed more gobos than he lost some axe wielders. Quick population check. 22 idle workers. As much idle workers as he has population. Which is a bit of a problem. Versus Vegie here. 70 pop cap. 35 boys. So the eco rust definitely worked. A lot of these buildings have to be rebuilt. And he's missing the stone to actually get his workers working. Question is, what can Vegie do with it? We still mostly on scouting posts, just have 2 eclectic fortified outposts here. Iron mines up and running. Oh, but if our resident dwarf player gets this here, surely we have the barrage now. Yes, we do. We also have used it already. If he could get this down, that would be a huge bust right now for the orc. Still doesn't have all the stone he needs there. Yeah, the goblins just need to retreat because one barrage is literally gonna kill them all. But some continuous split push here is pretty nice. Gets rid of some char burners. So that's gonna delay. Let's see, is it delaying the main? It is delaying the capital a bit. If that was his only charcoal burner, he's literally one wood away. But no, there's a second one. So he gets that. But, oh, nasty damage. And thank you very much, Xeris, for the raid. Sorry, I missed it there. Because apparently my alerts are just broken, which is super highly annoying. So I'm gonna have to redo them all. I think that's on the agenda for tomorrow. Because they don't play the sound. I hope that at least popped up on screen. But either they're not playing the sounds for me, or they're playing the sounds for nobody. I hope you had a great stream. Kicked some butt with the Dark Elves. Ooh, that's a bit ambitious. That's a lot of head points a couple scoundrels have to go through. Now that's 60 magic damage. That's a big ouchie for a scoundrel here. Literal 75 damage. So action all over the place, which I appreciate. But is he at the moment just throwing away food and wood right now? Kinda needs to start creeping. Let's see, we still have level 5 here. At the moment it's a level problem. Vegie is level 3. Does have the double death resilience. But he really lacks the cooldown power. As well as items. Let's see, has Juan... Hashtag no equip. Has got the tier 2 armor and the tier 3 bow, but hasn't actually put it on yet. But not just the dwarf outpost can do a lot of damage. The orc outpost does as well. Oh, one brave hunter is working on her, doing some decent damage. But I think most raiding parties have been cleared out. Ooh, okay, still going for it. Does have a lot of stone now, so could actually put all of these workers to work at some point. But Vegie's doing a really good job keeping him busy here. I think that's the main problem. Is ooh, some lonely dwarf boys being a bit over ambitious. Loses some crossbow boyarinos. I think observation is the level 1 tower. But now the counter problem is coming in. So the Goblin Maras is really good. The problem is he probably would have just been better off trying to go off the worker. It requires more micro, but it's definitely more rewarding if you can't get the outpost down. Because dwarf outposts just need like a little bit of stone to repair, and usually dwarfs start floating stone. Unless you've done tremendous damage. And Hierophant doing Hierophant things, deleting entire units. Does have the scatter shot ammunition level 2 now. I think it's 3 attacks. I assume the tool tip here is wrong as well. We're gonna have to pay attention to that. Because the first tooltip for level 1 is wrong. It's only a cleave on 2 targets instead of the scripted 3. There we go, yeah. Goes after the stone.
wird angegriffen.
Would have been a lot more effective a little bit earlier, but that's the right play. Just look at how clumped they are. On a lot of maps, you can really punish dwarves. Or like, not punish, but really harass their stone eco tremendously because they're so clumped up. But if that outpost goes down, Veggie's gonna be in trouble. He's not quite producing yet. He could definitely produce a lot more, floating a bit right now. But I think he was just at the shops, indeed. Has bought the ceremonial armor.
Gute Nachrichten. Wir haben eine neue Technologie erforscht.
But there's some real good action all across the map, so they're both trying to go full tilt here. Which is why you see some sloppy things in the macro. Because the macro is just overwhelming. Other way around.
Unsere Arbeiter werden
Sloppy macro because the micro is so overwhelming. There we go. Words are hard. Oh. Shotgun blast to the face. I think
Wir werden
we
angegriffen.
still have no equip. Indeed. The poor hunt, but even so, the hunters are still going down. One after from the Hierophant. Yeah, I didn't quite shotgun them, so gets away. Let me just take a drink here because my throat's really getting dry. I hope I'm just missing nothing. No other spicy action. No, I think we're good. So that was a huge win for the dwarf here. Gets the second Godstone. Now has control of both Godstone territories. So that could... Fully producing from all of the stoneholds. Good to see. We have no research buildings as of yet.
Wir werden angegriffen.
There we go. Vegie now is pumping all of units, I would assume. I kind of wish there was a better way to do this. To see what's in the production queue. A separate window for the observer mode would be really nice. But if he loses that outpost, that could be pretty criminal.
Wir werden
Oh, but here comes the
angegriffen.
shotgun blast. Just about got away. But, oh no! Oh, but the reload animation was a second too slow. Oh, but if the micros here, that scouting outpost could just wreck them. Little one-shots here.
Verdammt, wir haben einen Sektor verloren.
Oh. Ooh, but that was sloppy. Underestimated the power of 13 hunters. Looks like he just walked him down there without paying much attention, microing something else. And then had a brown pants alert moment when he realized that 13 spears to the face are not covered by the health insurance. So has to get the hell out of there. Or better say, went back to the Ancestors' Halls to come back from the Godstones. Meanwhile, the hunting has run out on the main. Oh, a stonecutter left on the bell. And that's the power of good eco harass. Like, even if it doesn't really kill anything, sometimes your enemy just slips up and leaves a stonecutter on the bell. That can really hamper your economy. Like, he doesn't need the stone right now, so it's not too problematic, and he's not gonna notice for a while unless he hovers over it. Yes, it doesn't indeed. They're ruthless like that, man. They just don't care. They're just money-grabbing scam machines.
Ich bin immer aufmerksam.
Of course, we're on the internet, and the internet is American. So for the rest of the world, everything's fine. Except maybe the Chinese. There you have social credits. And if they are not up to par... Ooh, boy. Alright, let's quickly do a
General,
check. 29
Gebäude
axe wielders,
fertiggestellt.
13 crossbow boys. Our heroes... Okay, is coming back now. Good. Didn't forget about it. We are tier 2. Do we have tech? No, we do not. Hang on. And we also do
Gebäude
not have
fertiggestellt.
granite hulls. Versus 31 scoundrels, 14 hunters, which I believe are upgraded to... Yep, we've got 1 attack and 1 defense upgrade. And all the economy upgrades. Nicely. And they seem to be, yep, all finished. So the economy stonks are strong. And nice play. We'll go for the Wyvern. Definitely could use the levels. Is level 5 by now. Not quite sure how he managed it. If that was just pure dwarfage. Or if there was more to it. But he's gonna get electrocuted. It's so disgusting. But the Gobbo Shaman can do it too. But here, there we go. Equipping has been seemed a reasonable option here. Fire Orbs are coming in.
Wo sind sie?
And the best siege unit in the game, Axfielders, chopping down things.
Außenposten vergrößern.
And the Dwarf Overlord complaining that he really could use some PopCap and housing.
Der Vorposten wurde fertiggestellt. Wir haben unsere Grenzen ausgeweitet.
Awkward teleport here.
Was braucht ihr?
Bit of a whiffy barrage. It was still a lot of damage. Oh, but nice firebomb. Ooh, misses the clump of the hunters here. But she's still crazy strong.
Keine weiteren Truppen unterbringen.
196 magical damage.
Vergrößern.
All the orcs are chasing. Meanwhile, the sentries are just target practicing on orc goblins. Oh, but the hunters keep getting surrounded, unfortunately, and body blocked. So a lot of high-value units lost here for the orc. While all the dwarf lost was a couple axe boys and sentries. And we've got plenty of more of those in the bank. The dwarven breeding machine is on hold for the moment. So, if he can kill it, he's gonna have slight reprieve, but I don't think we're in a position for it. 82 pop cap, 29, down to 6 hunters, that hurts. That could prove disastrous. There's a lot of iron production going down the drain here. Speaking of which, we are not level 3 yet, tier 3 yet. We are also not working on it. Did finish up down there. Gets a shielding amulet, which is pretty good. Unless he really wants a power upgrade, which you'd kind of just want a shielding upgrade. The shielding amulet is probably the best thing he could have gotten since sliced bread. Oh, that's a lot of economy damage here. Let's check the... Oh god, I really wish this is gonna be better. Okay, we have no further unit options unlocked, and a disgusting barrage. Literally exterminating half the orc population there. Just shooting through them like they were made out of butter. I wonder how that crossbow works. It's shooting 3 bolts at the same time in different directions. Hang on. How did you not get stunned? Was he like a pixel away? Nice pull. But, oh, it's just so many dwarfs here. But the fortified outpost, it does 100 magic damage here. So it's doing something.
Habt ihr eine Rechnung zu begleichen?
We did lose about 40 pop cap here. And the breeding machine is back on. And Veggie's army is getting thinner and thinner. Ooh, if that outpost goes down, we might be in trouble here. Oh, but a really nice cleanup here of some dwarf units there. Hierophant macros mostly on point, targets the units rather than the outpost. Good stuff, good stuff. But oh, gets the big iron sector there. He does have the secondary, well, tertiary iron sector up and running. But now the real problem with the orc economy is, or like the orc production cycle is, you can only produce from these outposts. So every unit he produces has to waddle all the way to the front. The Great Migration has started. The question is, can they migrate harder than the dwarfs can rally?
Wir werden angegriffen.
There's some nice hero focus, but look at them resistances. 56 strike resistance, pierce resistance. Oh, it's beautiful. Death resilience, that's only Death Resilience 1, here it goes. Death Resilience 2. Oh no, looks like he went over it earlier. Death Resilience 3 kicking up. Does he have it? Ugh. He does not. Doesn't quite have the levels, but he's got 1,250 extra health. That definitely will help. So he's just making a distraction carnifex here, extraordinaire.
Wir werden angegriffen.
And that is a very scary map position for our orc player here. What's his trump card? No further unit upgrades. This could be dicey. But I think so far I haven't seen the dwarf. Yeah, no granite halls. We are tier 3 though. So could see some berserkers being added, and indeed we do. We still got some idle worker boys. Mostly here in the middle. Ah, that's because the hunting ran out. Uh-oh. I fear for the dwarf because I don't think he has set up his replacement food economy yet. So once he's through all this food, double granite hull coming up, he might be in trouble. Triple observation. So that's a nice use of towers here. Grabbing that forward sector, even in this mid game. And then you just have to fight extra hard for these territories, whittling them down. So I'm actually really liking the playset where the Spellforce towers are in the current game. They are powerful in the right situations, but you can't really cheese with them. He actually upgrades them. I don't think they... Do they shoot? Okay, it looks like they shoot while they upgrade. So they don't work like economy buildings.
Gebäude
Level
fertiggestellt.
6 for our girl, the High Hierophant, but she hasn't spent a point yet.
Wir werden
But we also have
angegriffen.
like no siege here for the Orc. 17 hunters, 21 scoundrels. Could have added some brutes. It looks like we're getting some kind of upgrades. Okay, the last Zarek Steel and Zarek's Call for the hunters here. Make them even scarier. But he might just get this done because I'm pretty sure I'm correct in saying that we're bottlenecked on food. Let's see, do we see any farms? No, hunting cabins are empty. He has... Okay, there we go. One farm. Char burner. But I just don't think we have enough. That one is still belled. So he doesn't need the stone yet.
Wir haben einen Sektor verloren.
And does win it back. Very good for him here.
Wir werden angegriffen.
Is over pop cap compared to his enemy. Let's see what the Berserkers do. I hope we see the Berserker cries used, and I hope I don't see them all at once. I really like to see them staggered. And we see them used all at once. That's unfortunately, but it's a really good buff. It's 35 movement speed. And a 17% attack power
Wir
boost.
werden angegriffen.
It's the pure Dwarven build. Very dangerous. Natural sprinter over short distances. Unfortunately, they're a little bit outnumbered.
Wir werden
They
angegriffen.
are tremendous tanks, but they're also very expensive. But now it's the hunter's turn to overextend. Nice bait there. Ooh, brutal barrage
Wir werden angegriffen.
with the still negative resistance with the magic resist here. Still does extra damage. Level 7 now for the Zarek boy himself, the occultist. And
Habt
Juan
ihr eine
hasn't spent his
Rechnung
level
zu
7 points,
begleichen?
still not yet. Also bought both the resistance ring. I think those actually do stack. So obnoxiously tanky build here by Vegie, and it's
Gebäude
kind of working out for him.
fertiggestellt.
Lots of iron mines here. He has been having the queued up for a long time. I don't think we actually have seen any
Wir können keine weiteren Truppen unterbringen. Wir
Black Ash
müssen
Collector.
unsere
We don't have the
Außenposten vergrößern.
technology level yet. Yep, it's locked up by scoundrels and the
Wir werden
Q.
angegriffen.
So that's a very easy mistake to make as an orc, since you have to produce from your buildings. Sometimes you just forget about it, and then you queue something up, you think it's gonna come up, and then it's completely locked out by some queued up units. Fire golems adding to the mix. I do like them. Currently they're not very cost efficient, but they can be pretty strong for siege, especially with the upgrade. 3 or 4 of them really nuke down outposts rather quickly, though they are a bit squishy. Only 1,500, well, I say only, but for how expensive they are. 20 wood, and I think a hell of a lot of food.
Wir werden angegriffen.
Let's check. Oh no, it's just 20 wood and iron. Just. That's a lot of charcoal for a dwarf, though. Holy be Jesus. Probably would like have some more farms, though. There we go. Golems punch him in the face. I really hope the patch notes stick and they get a 3-unit cleave in melee stance in the next patch. I think there was something else as well.
Wir werden angegriffen.
Flux is just saying they're just bad brutes. Oh, what a nasty barrage, but a nice pull here. Oh, she even bought the helmet. I want to have a quick look-see at that. Turn around, milady. Ah, she's not doing us the favor. That's a lot of that stuff here. Oh, we could see a main. I don't think that's enough to go for the main. Ah, but she looks really dapper in her full kit. So remember the... Ooh, what a barrage! The helmet only works out of combat. So it doesn't help her now.
Wir werden angegriffen.
And I think we're really just food and iron locked. Do we see any silver mines coming up? Not yet.
Wir werden angegriffen.
So both players really sloppy on their tier 3 resource. Well, for Vegie it's just because the Kalrak was not
Wir
upgrading.
werden angegriffen.
I think he even has... Oh no, he doesn't have the Shaman tech yet. Okay. So stop that.
Wir werden
Looks like he
angegriffen.
finally noticed. Oh, some bad rally here. That Berserker just... I got places to be, I don't care. Just leave me be. Out of my way! Out of my way!
Wir werden
See if he
angegriffen.
makes it. It's the legend of Thorben Gunnarsson, the mighty dwarf, and he makes it to the line! World record! Just in 2 minutes, back to the front line. Incredible performance. Also, a pretty big problem is not having the T3 for the Orc
Wir
here.
werden angegriffen.
Is that he's pop capped at 130, and Orc pop cap mostly comes from upgrading the fortresses and outposts. So not being able to
Wir
actually get the
werden
border fortresses
angegriffen.
is really limiting him here. But he is full pop cap, so he might as well go in. Unfortunately, the
Wir
hunters were in the
werden
front.
angegriffen.
Nasty barrage yet again, pull not quick enough. So at the moment we're just trading blows here. The golems have been cleared up, so no main rush available with them, unfortunately. Oh, the bad rallies just keep continuing. Oh, it could be a big throw. That's 200 damage here. We have a ground Kalrak. Decent barrage. Quick pop check. 6 berserkers, 15, 16
Wir werden
sentries
angegriffen.
versus 2017. So it is a relatively even fight. Oh no! Unfortunately, these are a little bit bugged here. But he did not forget to use it, which is nice.
Wir werden angegriffen.
Also hit some of the backline here, which gives them 15 more damage, which is pretty beautiful. Quite a brutal fight we have on our hands here.
Gute Nachrichten. Wir haben eine neue Technologie erforscht.
And the Grand Kalrak is up finally. Do we see any Black Ash Collectors yet? Not quite. Looks like he hasn't had the mindset yet. How are our... Okay, is not queuing up the outposts yet as well. He's fighting for his life, rather. And sometimes that's a pretty good option.
Wir werden angegriffen.
Oh my god, Juando. Juando with not paying attention. 6 ability points to spend. That could be more... that could be so much more damage. Concentration, all the good stuff. So that's a pretty big misplay, but just look at her just poaching these orcs. Oh, but this outpost looks
Wir werden
pretty doomed.
angegriffen.
If he's quick, he can get the pull into the mass hunter blob. This could be big here,
haben
and she
einen
does go
unserer Helden getötet.
down. So that might give him some breathing space. We'll get a sector back. It's not the most important of sectors. He is floating.
Häuptling, der Vorposten wurde errichtet.
Except for the pop
Unsere
cap,
Grenzen
this
wurden
sector does
erweitert.
not have any necessary resources. No Black Ash Collectors yet. Really need some. There we go. Finally coming up, and something happened here. Okay, looks like he was... Oh, right, the iron mines just ran out. For a second I thought he purposely unassigned all of them. But good, he's paying attention. He noticed it, and full-on Black Ash coming up. Speaking of iron, we still have a little bit in this sector. Might see a Black Ash coming up soon here.
Gebäude
So if we
fertiggestellt.
could get this sector back, because it's not iron mined by the dwarves, so there's still some to have. But it is a long road ahead of him. But Juan is still really, really food blocked.
Gebäude
Just needs to get rid of the charburner. You're probably not gonna get through all of that wood. Just recycle the charburner. Yep, get this. Get the hunting cabins. Good, good, good. Bit late on that stonecutter. Oh, who cares at this point. Let's see what we have. Anything fancy? Some golems added to the mix. I would assume we have to... No, we don't have any upgrades. No economy. No unit upgrades. So no fancy glowing axes. No moon silver being harnessed. No. Harvested. There we go.
Gebäude fertiggestellt.
I should say mined. So many words in English with which to describe the beauty of this world. And yet we always just end up, that's so cool, man. You kids need to watch, what's it called? Not Good Will Hunting. The other one with Robin Williams. The Dead Poets Society. There we go. To extend your vocabulary in a manner that would fawn a lady. And I'm not doing a very good job of it. But I bet you could do better. But that's an awful lot of hunters now. That's a lot of rustling there. Looks like we have some posing for a grand finale. 36. Will it be a finale? I don't know.
General?
But the economy for Juan really needs to get going. But he has spent his points. Hurrah! More deep waters and a lot of health now. Decided that he wants to live through the poll. Let's see if it plays out for him. And Vegie has not been to the shop in a while. Could use some health potions, another blessed claymore, maybe even a speed upgrade. Even though I think it's an amulet, so he probably doesn't want that. Death resilience fully upgraded, yeah, full health. Block confluence, level 2 nullify. I think it adds a little stun for 1 second.
Gute Nachrichten. Wir haben eine neue Technologie erforscht.
25 hunters, poor scoundrel into hunters. No siege, no nothing.
Wir können keine weiteren Truppen unterbringen. Wir müssen unsere Außenposten vergrößern.
But we are gonna see the transition into shamans, so that's nice.
Gute Nachrichten. Wir haben eine neue Technologie erforscht.
So now he can actually just throw away some of these units and then replace them with shamans and pestilers. Which is gonna be a lot of magic damage. And now starting to posture to do something he needed to do quite a while ago. Grab some iron.
Gebäude fertiggestellt.
And yeah, Juan really having trouble to remax here. Economy is not there to back it up. Ah, but he's going for the all-in play. He's going for it, boys. But this might actually just go down before he can finish the main. But decides to teleport now. So the posture is working. Oh no, golems, don't go in the front. That's one problem with them. They really like their frontline positions. Similar to the druids of elves. So you have to put a bit of micro into them. Otherwise they do silly things. I mean, if they would explode on death, you could kamikaze them. And for now they're just punching the crap out of these hunters. Unfortunately, they do have 25 melee resist. In fact, they have 40 melee resist now, which is insane for a ranged unit. With full upgrades and 155 piercing damage on every 2 seconds. Let's see. Juan is at the moment doing a better job with his pop cap, but the hunters are coming out. The shamans are coming out. Oh, there could be a lot of dead hunters here.
Was benötigt ihr?
So that was a pretty damn good fight for the dwarves.
Wir werden angegriffen.
But Vegie can still afford to throw more. He just has to do it slowly, otherwise he can't remax in time. Due to the outpost limit, so he has to play it a bit smart here. And this observation tower is actually really good. It must be upgraded. Yeah, fortified watchtower, 175 magic damage. It is still pretty squishy. But he has got 3 of them there, and they seem to have tremendous range. So they have definitely done a lot of work for him. Oh, here comes the sprint. 117 strike damage! Punch him, boy! And, ooh, that's a lot of dead dwarves. Also, all the golems gone again. No siege anymore. Shamans are available though, but I don't think we have Pastorers yet.
Wir werden angegriffen!
But the dwarf army is getting low, 64, and just the food is not there. Does have a lot of free workers available. So really need to get some farms going, as well as some moon silver mines.
Wir werden angegriffen.
Oh, but the army for Vegie is not looking too hot. And so far, I think we're mostly producing scoundrels. Yes, indeed. So no Pastoral support yet. I do believe he does have the upgrade.
Wir werden angegriffen.
He does indeed. So really need to get some of those out. I don't think we see totems as of yet. So 104 magic damage. What's their attack speed? So if an enemy is ignited, they do 50 damage per second, which is ridiculous. So 150 magic damage extra. In an AoE, by the way. But I don't think we have much oiling going on yet. But it is still pretty damn good damage. What's the attack speed? 0.36, so roughly every 3 seconds. Yeah, every 3 seconds. One attack.
Wir werden angegriffen.
Now we're basically just swapping out hunters for shamans.
Wir werden angegriffen.
Yeah, all of this just needs to produce. Produce Pastorers! Value. Just get 5 of them queued up.
Wir
That results in
werden
10 Pastorers.
angegriffen.
Which results in a hell of a lot of damage. But this wall guy just took a fireball to the nuts. Not very healthy for him there.
Eine Rechnung zu begleichen?
At the moment it's just who can wreck his economy harder. Really needs just to get rid of some of these charburners, etc. Well, even ran out of... Oh no, he didn't run out of... He finally decided to build some farms. But the stone's out. He might actually... Oh yeah, is he running out of stone?
Gebäude fertiggestellt.
Doesn't have much left. Well, he still has 100 here thanks to that bell. And 300 over there if he really needs it. Could also just still recycle buildings. So 67 a minute. I think we've been on... That should be relatively accurate. Thanks to... like, you need to stay a minute on the applicable party to get an accurate representation there. And at the moment, I think it's just a problem of remaxing. It's gonna be really dark. Still no Pastorers here.
Wir werden angegriffen.
So none of the dwarves get nice and oiled up. I do love the shaman model though. It's a beautiful thing to behold.
Wir können keine weiteren Truppen unterbringen. Wir müssen unsere Außenposten
Still
vergrößern.
pop-capped. Still hasn't managed to actually grab a sector of his opponents. By the way, do we have to... No, all population upgrades have been grabbed. We are putting some towers down again. But at this stage of the game, unsupported. They're doing some damage, but not enough. Has he put his workers to use? Okay, he has put his workers to use. He does seem to get some food going.
Was braucht ihr?
But he's not quite there yet. Also, I don't think we still have no upgrades at all. No forge, no iron mine. No tier 3 basically, except for these guys being physically out. And they would wreck hunters really, really hard with the upgrade, because they then start doing magic damage. At the moment, they're basically losing almost 80 damage against the hunters. Versus they would do more than 200. Like, it's an insane difference.
Was kann ich für euch tun?
They would do 220 instead of 120. That's 100 damage more per hit on a hunter if you would have the glowing axes. And no, we don't have a single upgrade. We don't have the refinery nor the workshop up.
Helden sind stärker geworden.
I'm trying to hit the hotkey for the technology buildings. There we go. Words are hard.
Was benötigt ihr?
Hey, Pesterus! A whole lot of 3 of them. So there will be some oilage in this fight. Not much, but a little bit.
Wir werden
Tanky boy
angegriffen.
tanks quite a lot here. Is it a 150 pop cap? How's Juan's
Wir
pop
werden
cap?
angegriffen.
136. Oh, that's a bit awkward. Left some of his guys behind. And that's what we're talking about. That's the shaman damage. Pretty damn nice.
Wir werden
So yeah, I
angegriffen.
think not having any upgrades is literally what loses the game here. He is mostly up against shamans now, which do still, well, I guess, do still have 15 strike resistance and 40 magic resist.
Wir können keine weiteren Truppen unterbringen.
But
Wir
still,
müssen unsere Außenposten vergrößern.
in the end, it will matter. Also, glowing blue axes, always good things to have. 10 versus 9 in hero battle, the level. Both of them went really heavy into health, so we don't really need to check the skills anymore. Nothing too special going on anymore. We're just gonna have to wait. Who throws his face harder into the enemy? 112. Ugh.
Was
This
benötigt
is 149. And we do have 21 Pesterers now.
Wir werden
But we
angegriffen.
did lose some shamans. And we're losing some more shamans. Because we don't want them anymore.
Wir werden angegriffen.
Minus 20 movement. Awesome. Oil gives
Unsere
minus
Arbeiter
60%
werden
attack speed.
angegriffen.
So there's more to it than just a little bit of a debuff. Oh, look at the damage! They're all burning!
Wir werden angegriffen.
Burn the heretic! Burn the unclean! Purge the dwarves! I'm sorry. Just a little bit biased here. Some trolls coming up to play as well now. Oh, the fire totems rain hellfire from above. But the orc army got mostly cleared up, but so did the dwarf army, and there's still a lot of fortified watchtowers to go. Just look at how ridiculously tanky he is. 76 magical resist. Below 25 health. Look at them stats. 86 spears. Damn, son. Some chunky troll boys coming up. He's trying to harass the farms.
Wir werden
That's not the issue.
angegriffen.
But of course he can't know that. No resist below 75 indeed. Just orc things. Oculus
Wir
doesn't care
werden
about your puny
angegriffen.
weapons.
Ich erwarte euren Befehl.
10 Pesterers.
Wir
Yeah,
werden
very low on shamans
angegriffen.
now, but the war trolls do have AoE and have a chance to stun. Also doing tremendous strike damage. Which is definitely gonna go very good against sentries here. And their resistances aren't too shabby either. Especially
Wir
without the
werden
magic again
angegriffen.
from the berserkers. Really, really limiting the dwarf's combat potential. Boink! 470 siege damage. 25% chance to knock back by
Unsere
60
Arbeiter werden
and stun
angegriffen.
for 1 to 2 seconds. Beautiful. Wait, is that
Unsere
that
Arbeiter
289
werden angegriffen.
siege damage on top of the 479?
Unsere Arbeiter werden angegriffen.
That could be a thing. That could be just the AoE damage. That the strike damage doesn't even get the AoE. I don't quite know. He's just taking a power nap.
Gebäude fertiggestellt.
I really love them running. Their animations are really cool. Also
Wir
their armor.
werden angegriffen.
And they get really funny when they get speed buffed. Because then they get super scary. Just this huge war machine running at you at full tilt.
Wir werden angegriffen.
It's quite a sight to behold. If they buff by a Titan, also they go just ridiculous on the attack speed. They just golf club these dwarves into the next hole. Back into the pits where they came from.
Was braucht ihr?
Let's see. Nope, still no upgrades. Hey, the workshop's coming up! Huzzah!
Ich bin immer aufmerksam.
Jawohl.
We might get some glowing axes after all. Are we getting some farms? I still haven't seen any silver mines. Nope. So no pyromancers. Oh my god, we've lost so many dwarves here. Look at this. Really needs to pay more attention to that.
Wir werden
One or two
angegriffen.
is understandable, but there has to be a limit. It's really not helping his pop cap here. Oh, the shamans are doing so much work.
Gebt mir einen.
Also the berserkers have 0 magic resist.
Wir werden
So it's perfect units
angegriffen.
to fight them. Here come the sprinting. They're coming in. Coming in hot. Both because they're really, really scary and because they're on fire. But there's a lot of dwarves now. 74, I think.
Wir werden
Yeah, like
angegriffen.
Veggie's trolls are doing some siege stuff here, so that's nice. Looks like he's just gonna go after outposts, try to clean them up. Not a bad play. Have to be careful not to lose this one. There we go, nicely done.
Gebäude
Ooh, that's a lot of towers though.
fertiggestellt.
Well, 2. And just the 2 of them might not be fast enough to deal with it. Some combat balloons now added, which is gonna be pretty nice against all these single target units. Especially the shamans. Not that much resist to
Wir
go there.
werden angegriffen.
And probably can almost one-shot these Pestarers. 3 shots for them, so as long as they're hurt a little bit. Balloons are not too effective against them. Oh, it's a pretty good fight here for the Orc. Had to retreat his trolls though. Balloons are trying to snipe out
Unser Haupthaus wird angegriffen.
the Oculist with the 76 pierce resist.
Mich meinen Brüdern anzuschließen.
He wants to go back to his brothers, but it's not happening right now. I think we're just only down to shooting. Ah, the Rohirrim arrive from the flank. Getting
Wir
sandwiched here
werden angegriffen.
are our dwarves. Ooh, just the Hierophant is always so nasty with the auto attacks. So war trolls have to heal up.
Wir werden
It's gonna take a
angegriffen.
while without Gobbo support. Hashtag Gobbo is superior.
Ich erwarte euren Befehl.
Well, if you want the tankiest units in the game,
Wir
you grab your
werden angegriffen.
occultist. If you want a real chart of a cool dude, you grab the Gobbo Shaman. I don't even... Oh my god, just look at all the gold. Look at all this gold! It's ridiculous! There's like 2,000 gold here. The whole dwarf hold was carried by these boys, and they just dropped it all. Oh, look at it, wait! Yeah, wait. Where is he? Where is
Wir
he? Where's his
können
hero?
keine
How much
weiteren
gold is that?
Truppen unterbringen. Wir müssen
23,000.
unsere Außenposten vergrößern.
That was 1,500 gold. That was brutal. Pickpocket master. No, that's a little bit late here, so that's gonna get cleared out again. And the dwarven
Wir
economy
werden angegriffen.
is not good. He is producing. Is he finally getting some wound silver? The workshop hasn't even finished. We're minus 50 on stone. Oh no. Oh no. Completely mined out. Too many watchtowers. Has to
werden
recycle some to
angegriffen.
actually build some mines now. Oh, doesn't even have the latest armor. Interesting.
Wir haben einen Sektor verloren.
He looks almost like a man there. Literally just a lack of beard.
Wir werden angegriffen.
Vegie with a casual 680 food in the bank. But he is maxed out and his queue is full. And I
Wir
think
werden angegriffen.
our dwarf player did really well, but he didn't capitalize on his victories. Didn't tech up fast enough. Didn't upgrade any of his units. Could have had pyromancers out for a long time. They are really strong
Wir
if you
werden
can get them.
angegriffen.
It's usually just a case of you don't get them. But if you can get there, grab them. Also would have found like loads of time for a Titan. And the food switch needs to be way earlier. You don't need that much charcoal. Ooh, this could be brutal here. He's trying to hero snipe, which isn't very wise. Jesus Christ. But the Hierophant is casually continuing a genocide against the goblins. One shot is like 4 dead dudes. Absolute brutality. But he can't carry it all. Golems are charging in to the best of their abilities. 100% siege resistance, by the way. Completely immune. Nice micro that does try to get the troll back. Ooh. Occultist actually nearly went down there to the tower pressure. I don't know why the Pester arrows are so damn loud. Also, it doesn't really sound like they're getting oiled. Is he baiting? No, he's literally just on 24 health and put one shot. There we go. It's the first occultist death here, but it's not gonna matter. Border Fortress is going down, and there is also still food here. But now food is actually not the issue, it's literally just the stone. There we go, the workshop is finally coming up. Could have started recycling all these buildings when you know you can't keep that outpost. Well, maybe not the watchtower since they're still firing. And they are doing a very good job of
Wir
it.
haben einen Sektor verloren.
So the fully upgraded Dwarven Towers have definitely gained him some value. But yeah, the queue is full, we're still in the positive.
Gebäude fertiggestellt.
There's not much the Dwarf can do anymore,
Wir werden angegriffen.
except waiting for the inevitable. Waiting for Thanos to snap his fingers and call it a day. It's also that they always sound like they're dying when they're firing. It's really irritating because you think you're losing half your armies, but no, they're just like tennis players. Just really letting you know that they're doing some work. I guess it's their way of begging for a raise. I'm doing something here. Look at how hard I'm trying.
Habt ihr eine Rechnung zu begleichen?
This one's for my
Wir
grandpa,
werden angegriffen.
the great Goblin King. He's just wasting his time cleaning up all these buildings while he could be getting some more outposts. It is nice to clear them out because then he can't teleport onto them. But I think at this point he would have better things
Wir
to do.
werden angegriffen.
Occultist is back in action. Looks like he's coming. Oh no, like he's already back.
Wir können keine
he's
weiteren
finally at
Truppen
200 pop
unterbringen.
cap.
Wir müssen unsere Außenposten vergrößern.
Great success. Well, we're down to 50 for the Dwarf. So, I'm doing what I should have done a little bit a while ago. We're gonna speed this up a little bit.
Gebäude
Gonna have to wait for the
fertiggestellt.
final engagement. I just always forget when I cast that speeding up is a thing. Also makes it a lot more bearable because these guys stop shouting all the time.
Wir werden angegriffen.
Meanwhile, the outpost is still trying to get rid of all these dwarven buildings. Now it goes for the corner sector, which also hasn't been upgraded. There we go. A last-ditch effort of the Dwarven Horde, which isn't quite as mighty. Do we see a teleport on top of him?
Wir werden angegriffen.
And whack. Gotta love a big troll. Such satisfying units. Nice pull. Oh, the big whack! Onto the big clump. Lovely. And I think with that, we see the end of the Dwarven line.
Was kann ich für euch tun?
The House of Durin is dying.
Häuptling.
And indeed, yeah, it's definitely the T2 Tier 3. You so rarely get to it. And then sometimes you just stand there and then what do I do now? What composition do I need? What tech do I need? Nice attempt at the fireballs there. Slightly misjudged.
Wir werden
And the watchet
angegriffen.
is up, but we literally have no upgrades up. No enchanted axes, still no moon silver smelted. So
Wir
even if
werden
Vegie loses his
angegriffen.
entire army here, which he's about to, he's got 1,500 food in the bank. Though he's down on wood. But he can just pump shamans all day. And he definitely has enough stone for a lot of pastorers. Who are starting to shout again. Which I will now never be able to unhear.
Gebäude fertiggestellt.
Oh, she's burning. Burning up inside. And the great migration has started again. Orcs are coming back to the front lines.
Wir
Cool
werden
Juan here.
angegriffen.
Down to his last 30 trusty dwarves. Oh, I say 30. 30 pop cap. Just a couple Thorns here, trying to hold the line. But the Goblin Horde is unstoppable at this point.
Habt ihr eine Rechnung zu begleichen?
57
werden
HP on
angegriffen.
the girl here. She's trying to get in there for a barrage. Which might be unwise. Get some nice shots in there, because that's what she does. But I think it is the end. Nice pumpkin patch though. I like how the farms are little, just a kind of neat little gardens. It's kind of cute. Oh my god, stop shouting, Goblin Pastorer!
Wir werden angegriffen.
But I think this spells the doom. Is there some cleanup duty again? Oh, and there's the last pull, I think. Whack! No whack! Oh, she's alive! Oh, but the troll comes in with a steel chair. Knocks her over the head. Seals her fate. The poor berserker is still waiting for the glowing axes. And GG, well played. Nice comeback. And just with a little bit of experience, these two boys can definitely be something to look out for in the future. That's probably the highest kill count I've seen so far. 834 and 576. That was a lot of death. 55,000 for Vegie and 353,000 damage for the Hierophant. That is slightly crazy. But Vegie did gain more gold in the end. GG. Well played. And I'll see you in the future with more experience and even better gameplay. Thanks for the game. See you soon.